All right, guys, welcome back to the Iconic Life podcast, where we gather around the virtual tables for real, soulful conversations about what it means to live a life of calling, wealth, joy, and purpose. I'm your host, Hannah Elsey. I'm the founder of Agora Wellness. I'm the creator of the Iconicity movement. I call myself a transformation midwife, an overflow activator, and a movement builder of a community of visionary women and men who are choosing to lead and live lives they are wildly in love with. Here we don't do surface level chatter. We go deep, we talk about truth and the kind of stories that remind us that we are limitless when we walk in our divine purpose and identity. When I say living iconically, here's what I mean by that. It's remembering who you were created to be and choosing to live from that place fully and unapologetically. It's saying yes to your divine calling, even when it's messy, chaotic, stretchy, and building wealth, legacy, and joy from a place of overflow. It's leading movements, raising families, and co creating a life that feels like art. Because living iconically means you don't chase a dream, you are the dream. And today, we're going to dive into that with my guest, Sami. Welcome, Sami. I'm so glad that you're here today with us. Thanks for
Oh,
coming.
so excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
So
I
happy
love
you're
these
here.
deep, just like let's get into the juicy conversation. So I'm really excited.
Yes, exactly. This is how we do the things. So, yeah, I've got my electrolytes. I know you got your electrolytes. I've got my water,
Whoever's listening, go get
all
your
the things.
electrolytes.
That's right, right. It's
Things
the
for
in the
today.
afternoon.
Whenever you're listening, just go get them.
Right, exactly. Everybody needs electrolytes.
Yeah.
Everybody. All right. So I don't really do like a formal introduction. I like to give you the stage here for a second, and I want you just to kind of introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about you, where you're at in the world, what you're doing, and just kind of go from there.
Yeah, I love this. Okay, let's see how it flows. This is one of those hardest questions for me because I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I sum up an entire, I don't even, how old am I? 37, 38 years of life into like 2 minutes? And I'm like,
Yeah,
what are the
exactly.
important points? What do I say? But hello, I'm Sammy, and I live in Montana. Though we are moving back to, so depending on when you listen to this, I may be in Montana or maybe in Nevada, but we're moving back to Nevada to be closer to community and family for our kids. I'm a mom of two, and they've reached the age now where I think we just kind of realize that we've been living life for us and what we
Mhm.
like to do. And now it's how can we create that and of like, how can we be truly, truly happy with our adult life and provide a life that the kids really like too. So, you know,
Yeah.
the reason we're moving back to Nevada, in case you were wondering. Um, let's see. I'm sure we'll get into it, but just the quick overview. I love research. And so I've researched just, oh my goodness, like everything from being present, mindfulness, nervous system regulation, how our subconscious creates these beliefs that inform our nervous system, all of these things, which then dove me into child development, child psychology, pregnancy, birth, like at a very deep level, not just like your uterus gets big and you push baby out, but like
Yeah.
the mechanics of it and everything, and then like what happens to your body afterwards, threw me on this whole matrescence journey, which I just
Mm,
fell in love with. And after my second postpartum, I had really bad postpartum age that was really scary and threw me into survival mode for probably 8 or 9 months of like deep, just like what is going on, like just scary. I had to come out of it and figure it out for myself, which is what sparked me on this journey of creating Good Enough Matrescence. And so that's what I do. I bring in a bunch of professionals, experts, all moms with our own knowledge to come and support each other. So we're like a
yeah.
big community of all of these different professionals just supporting us through all the different stages of motherhood and
Mm,
just creating more joy. So like that's one of the reasons I'm so excited to chat with you because it's just how can we bring more joy into our life, and even if we're in the middle of like the biggest shit storm, like we can still find joy in those moments
yeah.
or find
Yeah.
joy in the fact that we're feeling sad, like the
Feeling
feel.
the feelings. Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because motherhood, especially when you got littles, um, you're in the thick of it. Yeah, parenthood. I mean, not just that was a good applies to dads too, but we're talking about mothers. I couldn't have mentioned, oh my goodness, Gem. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, but as mothers and whatnot, and I think that is such a powerful thing that you're creating, and I know it's something I needed as a young mom, and still, and I cultivate now as a older mom. But yeah, definitely, it was not something that was just readily available, right?
No.
When my kids were young. And so I love that you're building this beautiful community of support and resource and community, because that's what we need, right? So I think that's such an important thing that you're creating here. Mm.
I love that community is becoming more of I mean, there's always been a we don't have a village, but now
Mhm.
more of the science is kind of, I think people love
Mm.
science, and the science is now saying community is what helps you thrive,
Yeah.
like people in
Key.
general, but just, and then, yeah, so
Yeah. And how to build that community, because it's not like we don't often get the I want to say the luxury of we don't live in a village necessarily anymore, right? So how do we create that village in a way that works in our modern day lives, right? I think that's really an important thing that people are starting to address and build out in different ways, online ways, et cetera. Like I think there's definitely needs to be a mix of both. I don't think you can just do online to honestly have a real community, a village, but I think there is power in that as well. So I think that's such a neat, cool thing that we're like diving back into more and putting more focus on.
yes.
Yeah.
That. Yeah.
Okay. So, and I know we're so multifaceted, and I know that the bit that you just shared us, there's so much, like you said, how do you sum up, 37, 38 years of life in in a couple paragraphs? You can't, right? And we are women and we are so multifaceted in all the ways. And so I love that. But I want to kind of dive into maybe a little bit of your, the becoming of this for you, kind of. So like, every iconic story begins with the identity, with the remembrance of that, remembering who we really are, right? So I want you to take us back to a moment when you started to maybe see yourself differently, or started to maybe awaken to something different. You realized that there was something more for you because you created this amazing um, community and whatnot. But what was awakening in you? And I think you kind of alluded to it a little bit. But was there a moment that you
Goes
can
back
kind of
farther.
pinpoint? Yeah.
So the first thing that pops up into my head that I just feel like I have to share is part of my story that I didn't mention was I had come from a decently abusive background, mentally, physically, emotionally abusive childhood. There was a time that I was locked in the bathroom. There's a small hall bathroom, like there's literally you're like sitting in the toilet and you could like reach, even as a kid, like I could reach the sink, like very
Yeah.
small little hall bathroom. And I was sitting in there just like bawling. I don't remember exactly the situation that then put me in the bathroom, but usually it was a lot of like yelling. And when I say yelling, like very violent yelling, not just.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there in the bathroom, just like bawling. I have this journal, and I always angry writing, but like I remember like having to lie into what I was writing. So in my mind, I was like, I know why I'm feeling this way, but anything that gets written is going to be read and used against me. And my parents had this very ugly divorce on top of that they were fighting. And so everything was going to different judges and different people and being
Mm.
reworded, and even like had to lie to my therapist because if they'd said something to my dad, then it would be like this huge shitstorm. So I
Yeah.
remember this, I was sitting in this bathroom this very moment being like, my mind is so crystal clear on what is true. And I can come back into my mind, even if I'm verbally saying something that's not true, even if I'm doing something that's not true, like for safety, my mind knows what exactly is true. And as soon as I turn 18, I'm going to have a beautiful fucking life. Like that was just,
Mm.
it was just a declaration in this moment. And I was like, I can do this. I'm already surviving. I will survive, like whatever I have to do to survive, but my mind is clear and I will have a beautiful fucking life. And I do. And I did, like when I turned 18 completely. I think that was really, like that was the moment. So then everything that I did after I was able to like, be a real adult and like move out and all of that, was very much in alignment with enjoying life, finding joy, finding the silver lining always, creating peace because I know not peace. And so
Mm.
everything is trying to like cultivate and was cultivating. And at this time, at 18, 19, like even up to like 25, like I don't really know what mindfulness necessarily is, or like what manifestation is, or how like our vibes bring us things. I just knew like I'm just going to keep going for what creates like this happiness for me. And it was all great. And eventually I learned more about the whole mindfulness practice and healing and all of that. And proceeded, and then second postpartum was like step two of what then brought me back when I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe like I'm never going to be abusive. And so when my first daughter was born, like I was like, she's screaming, she's crying, like crying for hours. And even so I'm like, how could people be just like so angry at their kids? I was
Yeah.
frustrated, sure, and I'd pass her off to Josh, but like there was never like a violence. It was more of just I'd be really frustrated, or yeah, I'd cry because I missed before kids because it was
Yeah.
peaceful, like all of that stuff.
Right.
When my second came, and I did just just explosively yell when the oldest is hitting the youngest. There were definitely triggers that I had to dive into and learn why that was the only like specific thing that would set me off. But I remember also feeling like that guilt and that shame of, oh my God, I'm no better than
Mm.
it's like I thought I healed all of this. I did all of these things. And that in itself sent me down this shame spiral that I think a lot of moms have, especially if
Yeah.
you angry.
Yeah.
And, we could be angry just for being overwhelmed, for being underslept, for being undernourished. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't you have to go down this huge rabbit hole of triggers, though usually there's something always there. But yeah, so in that it was like this creating my own world of misery in a sense because
Mm.
I couldn't come out of it. And that's when I started diving deeper into some of more of the subconscious work, and that pulled me back to that time when I was, oh gosh, I don't know, was I in sixth grade maybe when I had that little epiphany in the bathroom, or that like declaration in the bathroom, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
to like sum it up quickly because this was like a few months journey, but it really brought me back to being like, okay, come back to this finding this freedom, finding this peace, and realizing that I am not broken. I don't need fixing. What I need to do is learn how to listen to my emotions and listen to what my body
Mm.
is trying to tell me. And in doing that, it brought me into this moment of realization of me being fully whole without having to continue to grow. Like growth is inevitable. We're going to grow, we're going to change. It's just part of life. And right here,
Yeah.
right now, this very moment, like everyone is so perfect. And I don't think I realized that. I always went down the personal development route and I was like reading all these books, doing all these things, growing, learning. Like I'm not good enough until I learn this next thing, heal this
Mm.
thing, always growing,
Yeah.
growing, striving for more. And no one's going to say, oh, like stop on your personal development journey, like stop growth. That's not good. Like no one's going to say that. But then when I was in this like anger, postpartum rage, realizing, oh, that was just that was like a belief that I had that I wasn't good enough as I am. And like I
Mm.
still love personal development, but very much from like, oh, that's cool.
Different
And if I
perspective.
don't want to do anything today, I don't have to. If I don't want to do
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
yearly. I don't have to. And I'm going to grow anyways. My cells are going to die. I'm going to get new skin. I'm going to grow. Like, it's just going to happen. And if I happen to pick up a book or read a podcast or have a beautiful conversation with you and you spark something in me, like, amazing. But I
Yeah.
don't know how to. And so all of
Very
that,
different perspective.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
all of that was just like, oh my gosh, I want every mom to feel this because that is, in my opinion, the key to joy. The key to like toddlers can have meltdowns, like maybe bills, you're stressed about money, but maybe you're not stressed because all of a sudden you're like, it will all be fine. I am perfect right now. And these are all just, it's all information on how I'm feeling safe. So
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love that. It sets us free from a lot. Like I mean, you mentioned like the mom guilt, which can be so crippling, right? And I think it keeps us stuck in this bit of a rut when then childhood is fleeting, right? And it feels not like that sometimes you're in the middle of you haven't slept and you've got all the things going on. But like, in fact, I distinctly remember, when my first five were young and, I'm walking through the store with a 2-year-old and baby twins and, all these things, right? And people were like, oh my gosh, how can you do it? And I'm like, okay, I don't get a choice. I'm
Yeah.
the mom, right? Right. But I remember just being like smiling, haha, okay. But then I would have older women who would stop me
Mhm.
and would be like, this time goes by so fast. Enjoy this time, And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm trying, right? But there is some truth to that because like that, and that's why I think what you said is so key because like being able to let go of the guilt, the I'm not good enough, all the things. So I could actually just savor and enjoy this moment with the kids, like when they were little and all the things, because you blink and they do, or you blink and they grow up, right? Because now I have a 24-year-old who is that, 2-year-old in my cart when I had the twins. So like, it's just, I'm kind of on the other side of it. I also have a little one still, or I have a 3-year-old, but still I do like, oh yeah, wow, time does go by fast. And so like I would have hated to spend all this time being so stressed about like not like the guilt and all the stuff, right? Like being set free from that allows us to be able to just savor and enjoy these moments with our beautiful little ones we have or this little bit of time. So yeah, that's a beautiful point and I like how you said that, like, because personal development, personal growth, yes, we're all here for it. Love it. It's one of my favorite things about like being an entrepreneur is because I'm like growing quite a bit, right? Like you see yourself growing, but it's not about like, oh, I'm not good enough, even in the now. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty powerful distinction. So
So,
I love that you brought that up.
I mean, I see it a lot with, I mean, I obviously talk with a lot of moms, and my whole community is are moms, but I see that a lot of us have this little belief of I'm not enough, I'm not whole, I'm
Mhm.
not worthy. Like, what even does that mean, kind of a thing? But like, we all have grown up with some twinge of that, and then
Yeah.
have compensated for that in some way. Not everyone, obviously, but it's interesting when you start to see it.
But
It was diving into like personal development for other people. It's being like the perfect stay-at-home mom, housewife. For someone else, it's climb that corporate ladder. For someone else, it's I
yeah.
do all the things all the time and I don't need help even though I'm drowning, kind of a
Yeah.
thing. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
But
And
yeah.
I think that is where I found myself was that doing all the things all the time. And I can do, because in fact, I did do all the things all the time. And then I had kids, and, and then right. And that's why I'm like, I'm so not, it is no longer about this doing all this lone wolf doing it on my own. Like that is not because I was
Fun.
also burning out like unbelievably, right? Because in fact, you cannot work all night because I did night shift at the hospital and then stay up with your kids all day and then go back to work. Like you can't do it. Like it, in fact, it will have an effect on your well-being, on your relationships, on your everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Such a
No,
thing, such a thing. But I was mom, I was super mom, right? So I could do it. Yeah.
there's a lot
Yeah.
of super out there that, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, talking about an iconic life and like choosing the different thing, yeah, choosing a different path, a different way, um, building this beautiful thing that you're creating, whatnot. It's not always a smooth path building these things, right? Bringing forth the calling that you have, whatever. So maybe, or even just some of the like life lessons you've learned from obstacles, from challenges that you've gone through. Can you, like looking back, can you kind of see some strengths or lessons that you learned from those different seasons of life that either propelled you to this new path or that you kind of have learned building this the work that you're doing?
Yeah, okay. So many. One of the biggest lessons, I've been thinking about this a lot. Actually, like just looking at how far I've come, like finding myself in that gain of even from a year ago and what I imagined and how like Gem's grown even wildly more than I have even thought it could at this point in time. And I had a post today actually because I've been sharing the collective partners that we have inside. And so I shared the last one that we have, who was also the very first one. And I remember I was walking with her she's from here and she does functional movement and put a whole program together for the pelvic floor from a whole functional chain.
Ooh,
And
that's awesome.
it's really awesome. But I remember I was like, okay, I came out of survival mode and I've always, this is part of a lesson too. I've always really liked like empowering people to empower themselves or like helping them find a resource. And I've always been called, like, I've always felt a pull to entrepreneurship, but it's always been like, well, what am I good? They're like, well, what is it
Mm,
easy to you? What's easy? And I'm like, okay, well, something that comes easy to me is like if you were to tell me, oh, I am peeing when I laugh and don't want to pee when I laugh, I'd be like, oh my God, I know this person. She could totally help you. Go hire her. I'm really good at that. And I'm like, that doesn't make me money. Like, no one's gonna, I just want to like openly tell people, like, oh,
yeah.
you need paint for your house. Did you know that I just vetted this one paint? There's no VOCs in it. Go buy this paint. And
Yes.
so, a lesson that I think I've learned finally was that there is actually, when I thought about GEM, I had initially thought about a mom walking into like a library and having access to all these different people. And I was like,
Mm,
oh gosh, I love networking and just meeting people and making friendships and having like all these resources that then I can share with people. It's like, I could do this. And then it's not all on me because I go through times where I'm just like, I just need to take a break
yeah.
and, and to just be able to have all these resources for mom. So, one of my first lessons I think I learned was that it finally, like years and years and years of trying different businesses, that then I got burnt out on. It took until this to be like, oh, I can actually use my skills to grow something. And I can be almost like, a Rolodex in a sense, but like I also want to be a part of it. Like I want to be part of the community, not
Hmm.
like I'm up here and someone's down here paying me, but like we're on the same level and I just know this and you just know this and we're just going to help each other. So
Yes.
anyway, back to my story. So I'm walking with my friend and I had this image of like, I want a mom to walk in and have access to like this full program, like for her pelvic floor and for all of these different things. And so I was like, oh, my friend Alexis, she was a new friend. Like we weren't super close yet. We had maybe hung out three, maybe four times. And I was like, I'm just gonna ask her, like, I'm gonna tell her what's like on my heart and my soul. I have this draw, I want to do this, but like, how am I gonna do it? I don't know anyone. I haven't been working for like 3 years, I guess, because I burnt down one of my businesses and started writing children's books and then got pregnant. So I stopped my networking. Like I just stopped meeting people and doing all the things. And I was like, I'm not even really on social media anymore. How am I going to find people? Like, how's this even going to be possible? But I just like had this
Yeah.
vision. So I was like, hey, I just want to talk to you. I have this just feeling, this vision. I really want to do this. And I would absolutely love for you to be a part of it. Like, would you consider coming on and like creating something, being a part of it? And as it grows, obviously, then I'll pay you there, it had nothing started yet. I hadn't even created a web page, like nothing yet. And I was so nervous because I was like, she might say no, that it's just not in alignment, doesn't feel right, and that's fine. At that time, I was like, oh, if she says no, I think that I don't know if I'll do this. Like, it,
Mm,
you know. But of course, she was like, yeah, I'd absolutely love to. And it really gave me that little bit of confidence of like, okay, yeah, like I can do this. I can do this. And so that was a huge lesson, I think, just for me to be like, let's just try it, just to ask, just like keep
yeah.
asking, just keep going.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the pull to it was stronger than the fear of all the no's, which in the past, and oh my gosh, I had an outside sales job once, and uh, it was the scariest, worst job. I hated walking in to try to ask for a meeting to change their payroll. Like now, who I am today, like no problem. I could totally go into all these places, do cold calls, cold emails, cold all the
Yeah.
things. But at that time, like
It was like
terrified.
the worst thing ever. Yeah.
First thing. So it's just and that's where like you're gonna grow. You're
Yeah.
inevitable.
True story.
But yeah, I think finally there was just this pull, something that was stronger than like the fear of like the fear
Mm,
of not doing it at this point was greater than the fear of if I tried and it failed. Like, okay, so I try and it failed.
yeah.
Like, who cares? Like
The
it's fine.
calling.
It matters. It's fine. So
I love that.
That
The
would be
calling
nice.
that couldn't be ignored anymore. Yeah. Ooh, I like
I
that.
mean, and there's still times that I'm like, oh my gosh, like I have guest experts on all the time, and you were on, it was incredible. And I'm like, all these people keep saying yes. Like, why are they saying yes? Like, it's not good. Like, there's always that, like, it's just not
This
good enough.
little,
I'm missing this one resource still. I'm missing this one resource. Or now I have all these collective partners that actually have their full on like courses and ebooks and programs and like one-on-one support and like inside now, which was my original vision. And I was afraid for a while to ask because I was like, who's going to say yes? Like, I need to get to know some of these people first.
hmm
And all these people now, I mean, I've got a lot of no's and a lot of people who have ignored me, and that's fine. Like, on like, it's cool to say now finally that, like, okay, like, it's cool. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
no, not right now for them, even if they didn't
Right.
respond. And all these other people are saying yes. And I'm like, okay, like, just keep going. And so there's been a lot of that in growing this for sure. Like, how am I going to pay my VA?
Yeah.
Like focusing so much on like the the business growth aspect, and then in doing that it like pulled me away from my embodiment of how I want to experience motherhood, which is why I started this, so that all moms can experience motherhood they want to with more joy. And I'm pulling myself away from that, stressing out about how this is going to grow, then have to
Mm.
come back out and be like, wait, like it is going to grow, it's going to be fine, and I need to make sure that I'm having the motherhood that I want to experience so that I can
Yeah.
share like it's possible kind of a thing. So there's definitely a lot of just that like yo-yoing and
Yeah.
checking, and a lot of checking back in, I think.
Yeah. I actually love that you brought that up because that kind of leads into my next question is, in this work that you're doing in the day to day, like what are habits that you keep like that you do every day or choices that you make or values or boundaries, right? Boundaries that you keep that help keep you anchored in the kind of motherhood that you want, the kind of life that you want, that's iconic life that you are living and building. What are some day-to-day habits and things that you use?
Yeah, I think a lot of just asking of questions. So I'll like in the morning, I'll say what would feel like love right now? Like in the morning,
Mm,
put my hand on my heart and be like what would just feel like love to me right now? And
mm,
I am not one that can do like wake up at 7, exercise at 7:30, get your coffee at 8, start emails at 8:30. I can't do that. Maybe I do that one day because that's
right.
good that day. But I
Right.
cannot schedule. So for me, it's a little bit more fluid of just like, how does this feel? What would feel really good today? Or really being present and noticing. I've done a lot of practice to notice when I start to feel overwhelmed or when I start to feel sad or when I start to feel angry, and really checking in with my nervous system because I want to enjoy my day too. And most of the things on my to-do list, like they don't have to get done. And I
Yeah.
think that's been a big theme of like, if I don't respond to this person's email today, that's okay. Like if like I told you right before we started, I'm going to start my period today or tomorrow. So like these couple of days, I'm just a little bit slower. I just don't really feel like executing on a lot of things. So I give myself permission to like take it all and take it back. And I also have, I call it my aloha list, but a lot of people call it like stacking club or like a go me club kind of a thing of tracking your wins, I guess, your evidence of the things
Mm,
you want. And
okay.
one of my intentions is to be really connected to myself and honoring what feels good for me, and also noticing where I'm connected to my kids and where there's more playfulness and where there's more presence. So I have a list of every time like I notice these things, or like I've noticed the really beautiful butterfly on that purple flower. I just noticed how my daughter looked at me and asked me this specific question, and I was paying attention to her. I wasn't on my phone. Or
Mm.
I am like celebrating myself because there was like, let's just say, I don't know, a big creamy mac and cheese sitting on the counter, but I know that when I eat cheese, I have diarrhea.
Right.
Didn't eat that. I went and ate like instead, or I don't like whatever.
Yeah.
I don't
Whatever
like
small things, but yes. Yeah.
like some of those really small things, like noticing where like little delights come into my life, like little moments of like
Mm,
surprises, or like, we just got a free cookie the other day, or
yeah.
my
I
in-laws
call
will
it the glimmers, right? Looking for the glimmers in life. That's,
yeah,
yeah, I use
so
that
I
term.
can track that, and I do that every
Yeah.
day. Those are some of the things I do daily. I don't have anything that I do like, well, those I do daily, but some of like the different questions I'll ask myself will just depend if I'm like, oh, I'm noticing I'm really overwhelmed, or I'm noticing I'm getting really frustrated with my kids, like different ways then to go about that I do regularly, but they're not
Yeah.
necessarily daily. It's just,
Yeah. As it comes and go. Yeah. No. And you mentioned like, like you're at the end of your cycle right now and honoring that space. And I think that is something that has become more and more prevalent and being taught to our girls and to ourselves is that there's a rhythm to our life. We're not just go, like, that masculine versus feminine, right? Like there is a flow and a rhythm to and a cycle to our lives and the phases of life that we're in. And it's so important that we honor them, and not just try to force our way through because that's what we just do, right? Like, again, it's that very masculine kind of approach to things, but it is the way I would say that we've been raised in our society is to just do the things, right? And so to learn that there's maybe a better way of like approaching life sometimes, and combining the two, because there's also there are some benefit and power to having the masculine way of doing it, adding that in, I should say, not just throwing it out, right? But also honoring the phases and the rhythm and the cycles of
yeah,
life. It makes a much more beautiful picture. So yeah, it brings more balance in, I think.
more balance and more presence and
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the work that you're doing and whatnot, like what are some of the ripples that you are seeing that you are most delighted by or most proud of creating, in your community and the women you're working with, or even in your family, the things that you're seeing?
Yeah. I love, we have meetups a couple of times a month. We'll be adding some more, but I've noticed, and it's been real, well, in our chats too, I've noticed, but it's really nice to hear when someone's like, whoa, I am just starting to notice more of when I'm present with my kids, or how I can be more playful, or um, I notice that I'm not feeling jealous of this other person, that like I actually am finding joy and happiness in my current life, in my situation, or I've never thought about it like this, or I think that that's just a really fun one when, I mean, and I do the same thing, like, because people will tell me how they think about something. I'm like, oh, that, yeah, like that makes so much sense. So I really think that sharing of just different ways to be present and do things has been
Yeah.
really, really nice. Also, I get really excited about the whole, like, one of the whole purposes of Gem, besides adding joy to our life, which this is the same, I guess, but parenting and mothering from overflow versus being depleted, and being
Mm,
able to like stay with that clarity and the creativity of the mind to handle situations, and like to bring more of that like fun and play in the hard times.
yes.
But my kids are going to have partners one day, and I think it's just really cool that like our generation is very conscious and in, well, most of us, and intentional on how we want to raise them, especially around like emotional fluency.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get really excited just thinking about that. There's a whole bunch of moms who are all supporting each other, and we're learning emotional fluency ourselves, most of us, while teaching it to our kids. And my kids are going to have partners one day, and I hope they find partners who were raised by moms who are teaching them that too. Just, obviously every relationship has their things, but like to be able to come into one where like emotions and feelings are all valid, and then be able to like be on the same team and stuff, like that gets me really excited. And so it's really cool, like seeing and connecting more with moms that are like, yeah, like I didn't, emotions get pushed down. Like I was never taught to have emotions, like, and to actually start feeling them and moving through them and becoming
Yeah.
really authentic to ourselves, and then showing our kids, and then they're going to have partners, and then like they're going to have kids, and just just
Yeah.
more.
You're just saying the ripple effects of like the good ripple effects, right? Like how this can like affect generations.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so powerful. How do you see your calling, your work evolving in this next phase? As you mentioned, you're about to move, all the things, and what, how do you see things progressing and moving in this next phase?
I think we're going to be doing a lot more in-person events as we grow in the different cities that we're in currently. We are global at the moment, so like the different where the members are, we'll just start to grow more in-person stuff in those
Hmm.
cities. Plus doing more, we'll still have more online stuff potentially. I mean, eventually more partners too. The goal, just tell you the really big goal. The really big
Yeah.
goal is to be the app in every mom's pocket, like peace of mind in their back pocket, the fun side of motherhood, nothing that you have to like jump into daily, though you can. You might make a really good soul nourishing connection friendship that you're just like,
Mhm.
and then you might like leave the app and that's fine, but like, you found something that was just like, oh my gosh, that was so worth it. Or
Yeah.
you just have it. Like you just know that if you ever need these resources, like they're there for you, they're vetted. Um, just so it's just gonna be like why would you not have this? Because it's got everything to just help you find that confidence and the education and the resources and community and all the things.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're growing next is in that.
Very exciting. I love it. Yay. Okay. Um, no, those are all very exciting things. I want you to talk to the mom, the woman who's listening, who's maybe feeling like she's resonating with what you're saying, feeling that tug, um, the more that's out there available for her. What is something that you would tell her? She's still in the struggle of it, maybe hasn't found any answers and things like that. But what is something you would tell her or something you would lovingly challenge her to do or explore?
Yeah. Ooh, okay. This is a good one. Um, if she's still in the struggle, I would say that she doesn't have to do anything because I know when we're in the struggle, we have this feeling of something is wrong and broken and needs fixing because it's an
Mm,
uncomfortable feeling.
yeah.
And I would invite her to look into that feeling and feel it and see if she's wanting to, let's say, join our community out of like shame or guilt, which I mean, neither of these are right or wrong. Just get
Hmm. Hmm.
is that your pull because you want to be fixed, or is it because you just want to be around a community that accepts you as you are right now, knowing that like it won't last forever? And if you have resources that will help you navigate through, like not fixing. I'm very much under the belief that we don't need fixed and we're not broken. And if we can start listening to our emotions and being able to be in the discomfort, so much beauty comes out of that. And we do have resources for that. We have multiple people inside that help walk you through and help you, like if you're numb or if you're just like drowning in emotions or all of these things. So we do have resources. I would invite them to just check in with themselves first to see where
Mm,
are they doing this out of like I'm broken and need fixing. And if they are, that's okay. Just acknowledge it. Like again, it's not wrong. Like you're not
yeah.
broken thinking that you're broken, but being able
Yeah.
to sit with that discomfort for a minute and then like move through and be like, okay. And then like, yes, come and join us and come and join us when you're in it too, because a lot of moms are also. And we're very much encouraging and empowering that feel it, like be in it. You don't need to be in it forever. And then there are some cool tools that you can use that help reframe things and that help heal certain
Mhm.
things so that you don't get triggered all the time, or you are able to fill your cup when you are, I don't know, a single mom working and like you don't have a support that you can just say, hey, I need an afternoon off. Like there are
Yeah.
ways you can fill your own cup with like real self-care, not like I'm gonna get a manicure, which is cool, but real self-care.
Yeah. Yeah.
And moms though that are just like, I just want more of this, I would definitely just be like, come on in and like amplify, because the more we can just encourage and show moms that it's okay to like scream one day and feel angry and to like make the mistake, and I say that in the air quotes, that's just again a beautiful opportunity to repair and
Mm,
just deepening and amplifying that like presence and the connection and the peace and the fun in motherhood, I would totally just be like, jump on in.
Yeah.
Either way, I would say that
It's a good place to be.
yeah,
Yeah.
but just know that you're not broken either. Like, because I know when
Yes.
I was like in it and I had all that rage and I was looking for support, a lot of the support systems out there were like, oh, if you have rage, you need anger management, and you need anger management
Oh.
because you're broken, because like get your shit together. Like, how in the world can you yell at like you were just like effed up? That's
Ooh.
anger management. They don't say that
Yeah.
on the sales pages, but you can the feeling of just like,
Yeah.
oh, I need fixing versus let's figure out why it is that anger is coming up. Like, let's sit with it. Let's see why. Like, where is
Hmm.
it that you have,
Let's get
or
curious. Yeah.
yeah, just get
Yeah.
curious and because it's there for a reason. But yeah,
Yeah. It doesn't just occur in a silo, like on its own. It's right. There's generally like something you need to get curious about and be that gentle observer. There's
yeah,
no judgment there. It's just be that gentle observer, and then how can we sit with this and explore, perhaps? Yeah. Um, yeah, because what's that? You can't shame yourself into all of it,
no,
right? Like I'm so not here for that, right? I was
no.
in a call a couple days ago, and it was a kind of a it was a big group, and it was like a coaching kind of a thing, and the leader kind of um berated a person who had a struggle, and I was just like,
No.
oh my God. Like, I would be ashamed of myself if I was like, wow, that is so counterproductive. And my heart went out to her because you just saw the woman kind of like, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I was
And
like, okay, that is the old paradigm, and we are no longer here for this.
no, we're here to be like, it sucks right now. And like, I did this thing, and maybe it wasn't from my best self. And it also was from my best self at that moment. So, like,
Right. And if you want to change, okay, let's get curious and work together because that's what you're wanting.
yeah.
But from where and why? And this is, yeah, anyway, oof, my heart. I was just like, ah,
I would feel, God, how could that person say that to? It's so true though. Like, you
no.
can affect change, like long-term change, it all from guilt, from shame, from
From
like,
shame. It doesn't work. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
go off on that topic forever.
I know, right? Okay, so as we're kind of starting to wrap up here a little bit, and I've loved this conversation so much. Where can people find you online?
At goodenoughmatrescence.com or on Instagram. I'm on Facebook too, but I'm not really on Facebook, so I don't
Yeah,
know that.
fair enough.
Instagram at,
Instagram.
at Good Enough Matrescence there also.
Jim. Yes. Okay. I love it. Yeah, and you said the app in your pocket, so you're working on getting that app out, right? Yeah, let's
You want to
look
hear a
into
funny story about my finger that just
it.
has to do
Sure.
with the topic that we just were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. I shared this inside gem the other day too, because I was like, this is a perfect real life example. Because
Mm,
again, I'm definitely this firm believer that we do things exactly the way that we do based on our internal and external environments anytime. And one of my favorite things to say as a mom when my kids are doing something that is making me frustrated, I'll say they should be doing this. Like they're hitting each other, let's say. They should be doing this. I don't like it. Sure, I don't. But as soon as I say they should be doing this, my shoulders drop. There's no danger.
ah,
I can proceed from clarity, from creativity to, okay, how do I navigate this? It's like,
okay.
the dogs bark at the mailman. Like they should. Do I like it? No, but like they should. Like all of this, like they should be doing. They should throw their clothes all over the place. They should throw the spaghetti on the walls and make a mess. Like they're having fun. They're being kids. They should. Do I like it? No. But now like I don't have to be super angry and yelling. I can like figure out
Right.
how I want to approach it. But we don't often do that with ourselves. Like, so let's
Mm,
we don't calm down first. And so we then yell, or we're like so underslept, overnourished, overstimulated that we get really short with ourselves, with our kids, with our spouse, with our coworkers, with whoever. And then we're
yeah.
like, I shouldn't have done that. I should have known better. I did that again. And we'll be like, okay, well, next time I won't do that.
Mm,
We just say that, next time I won't do that.
mm, yeah.
So I love thinking, no, you also should have yelled because you were not sleeping. You were starting to think that you were running late for work. You ran out of milk, so the kids didn't eat whatever they needed with milk. And so all of a sudden your nervous system is like danger, danger, danger. So of course you're going to yell. You should. Cool. Got that done. Shoulders drop. Now you can proceed. Like, do you need to repair? Could you just say sorry? Could you just accept that, yeah, I was depleted and my nervous system was telling me that I didn't feel safe? So
Yeah.
here's this real life story. So I say this all the time to people, right? And talk about how that whole example of like the storm goes through and the tree falls, but the tree next to it didn't fall. Like, why did that tree fall? It's so sad. And you're like, well, it couldn't happen any other way because of the internal and external environments around that caused that tree to fall, but not the tree next to it. So same thing with us and our kids and like the whole world. So the other day, this was like almost a week ago, I guess. My kids both started napping. They don't nap. So they were napping and it pushed their bedtime back like an hour and a half. And they were also waking up about an hour early. And so I was extremely tired for like 3 days straight,
Mm.
really tired, kind of grumpy. And I had a call with someone in the evening and I came back in to start doing bedtime and bath time. The kids were just like they were crazy and running around with all this energy, and my husband was also super tired because he's been redoing one of our bathrooms. And so when I came in, he just like disappeared. And so instantly, my body's like, okay, I don't have help now, but I don't know where he went.
Yeah.
I realized he like fully disappeared, but like definitely just more agitated already and kind of overwhelmed because I was tired. I wanted to get them to sleep so that I could just sit for a minute in silence. And I had to go poop, so I went to the bathroom and they're running in and out, jumping on the tub, slamming the door. So obviously, my nervous system cannot calm down. I'm sitting there like, please. And we just had our youngest. Did we have to go to the hospital? I don't remember. She was like just at the hospital recently too for, oh yeah, because her elbow popped. She had nursemaid's elbow.
Oh, yeah. Ouch.
So
Yeah, but not fun. Yeah.
still
Hmm.
fairly fresh in my mind too. And they're roughhousing and she's on the tub and I'm like, she's gonna fall and crack her head. They're gonna slam a finger in the door. I'm just trying to go poop. No, I wasn't constipated or anything. It would have come out if I had 2 minutes of silence. And I'm saying this
Right.
thing that like my husband can hear and like just come and like take them for 2 minutes and then I'll proceed. So he didn't. And then wait, I got their teeth brushed and they were like, oh, we're so hungry. We're gonna go eat cookies. I was like, no, we're not eating cookies. Brushing our teeth and we're going to bed. So I went to the bedroom to change. As I'm changing, I hear them in the cookie bag. And I just like the flip switched and I walked out there. I was like, no, we are going to bed. I grabbed the cookies and I went to throw them away in the trash can. And I have a trash compactor, like the hard metal thing that pops out. So I
Uh-huh.
missed it. I smashed my finger into it so hard and let out this. Oh, it hurt. I thought I broke it. It was like a pain that I had not
Mm.
in a really long time. And then my husband appeared. I saw he was in bed too. I forgot to leave that part out of the story. While I was getting dressed, he was in bed. And so I'm just like, I need help. And I wasn't conscious of this at the moment. Like if I was practicing some of those things, maybe, but I couldn't because I was at that state where
Yeah.
I wasn't going to be able to be consciously aware that my overwhelm was building and building, like I was now in it. And
Hmm.
so, I really hurt my finger. It hurts really bad. I did something to it. And if it still hurts in a couple days, I'm seeing a doctor. Like I can't bend it. There's
Yeah.
definitely like something wrong with it. And of course, so then he comes out and helps. And my daughter, she goes, well, if you didn't throw my cookie away, your finger wouldn't hurt. And I was like, you're right. You're absolutely right. And also in that moment, I was like, oh my gosh, this really is one of those things where I could choose to guilt spiral and be like, I shouldn't have done that. Like, I shouldn't have gotten so angry that I had to throw a cookie away so hard that now I don't need surgery, but like now I actually have an injury. Like I could go down that spiral, and a lot of us do a lot of the time. But luckily at that moment, I was able to be conscious and be like, no, it couldn't have happened any other way. It had to happen that way because of everybody's interactions. And like my husband couldn't have stayed up. Like he was so tired, he couldn't have not gone to bed. Like the kids couldn't have not been in their crazy wild nighttime energy. Like, and all of that created
All
this
the things.
storm. Yeah, and so I guess I wanted to tack that on just I feel like that
Mm.
flows
In
like
the moment, real life.
yes. And then to be able to
Yeah.
be like, okay, no shame, no guilt, like it happened. And
Hmm.
I had a natural consequence from it, but it also just shows me that I needed to take some time for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wasn't
Always.
listening.
I always say to my kids, I'm like, I'm not mad. I'm just under-resourced and under-supported and over,
Yes.
or I'm overstimulated and under-supported. That's
Yeah.
how I say it.
All the
Because
overs,
it's
all the
like, there's so right, exactly. It's yeah, the wrong ones are over the wrong. Yeah, I've got to switch around. Because but that does change it as opposed to that whole guilt spiral, like you're saying, because it's not about that
like,
most of the time. Like we are good moms. We are good people who are loving our children and loving our family and want the best for them at all times. And
yeah.
sometimes it's all just too much in the moment. Like you just, yeah, all the things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that in case anyone's listening and they're like, yeah, but I actually have like, because I know I talk a lot. I'm like, we create joy even when we're like in the storm. But also, like, this could be joyous in the sense that I was like, oh, a wake up call to me to start listening to myself better. Like, okay, cool. And also, there's like some aliveness when you're actually able to be in the present moment, even if it hurts.
Hmm.
Like, if you've ever like actually broken something or like skinned your knee and you're like, oh my gosh, I can feel that pain and it hurts, but I can feel it. Because a lot of times we just go through,
Yeah.
we're not really like feeling things.
And
So,
not, yeah. Kind of numb
but
it.
so if anyone's feeling like that way of like, well, I actually lose my shit all the time. Sometimes we all do, and it's okay. Just showing you
Yeah.
information. And
100%. Mm,
yeah, okay. There's
the
my
stuff
soapbox.
of life. It's a good one. Okay, so I've got a couple of fun questions for you. I like to ask everybody as we wrap up. Um, Favorite food and drink
Mm,
currently, or just one that you love all, just love, love, love. Either way.
okay. I love kombucha.
Mm.
Every morning. So I do have, well, I switch. Sometimes I get off coffee for a little bit. But currently I'm on coffee with coconut cream, like from the can, and
Mm-hmm.
collagen and mushroom powder in it. And then to top it off, I need cardamom, cinnamon, and ginger on top.
Ooh.
It's like that's
Uh,
my go-to every day, morning
yeah, that
and then
sounds delicious.
but
I
food.
love, yeah.
Thanks. Food is so hard. I love food. Love all the
Yeah.
food.
Just be
Uh,
a food maybe that you enjoy because I'm the same way. Like I'm a total foodie, so I'm like asking me for one favorite food, that's not gonna work. But like currently, my favorite food.
Currently, I did just have a really good bagel today, and I love
Ooh,
bagel. Um,
what flavor bagel was it?
plain. I like just the
Just a
plain bagel,
good plain one.
plain cream
Good
cheese.
texture. The chew, yeah. All right, a dream vacation spot that's on your bucket list, or maybe that you're planning.
Yeah, we are planning to go to Hawaii. It's one of my favorite places in the whole
Mm.
in
Ah, it's so
September.
beautiful.
Yes, I love it. It's
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I feel like I'm walking in the Garden of Eden. It's so beautiful. I just like, how can people be unhappy walking out here? And life is life, but it was just like jaw-droppingly beautiful out there.
And like the feeling. I don't know. It's like
Hmm. Hmm.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then a favorite book that you've read, or a good book that you've read recently that you're enjoying.
I just finished up Come As You Are, which I really, really
Hmm.
it's by Emily Nagoski.
Okay.
I feel like that is her name. I could
Okay.
be messing it up, but yeah, it's Come As You Are. And I definitely recommend it for every woman to read.
Okay. Yeah, I've not heard of that one, so I'll have to check it out.
Oh, good. It is about our sexuality,
Okay.
not like from a feminist, not like feminine masculine energy, but very much from like, let's take a look at your vagina, and your vulva as a whole, like your sexual pleasures. Like let's look at context, let's look at gas pedals, brakes, like let's look at everything as and like really just diving into how we picture ourselves and like move through our own like intimate relationships with
Hmm.
ourselves, partners, and I love it. I definitely recommend it.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, and we'll include a lot of these things in the show notes and where to find you and all the fun things. But Sammy, thank you so much for this conversation. It's been great. I've always enjoyed hanging out with you and chatting with you every time. It's been great. So thank you again for coming and sharing with our community today.
Thank you so much.
It's been great. All right, you guys, thank you again for joining us today on the Iconic Life podcast. Remember, every choice we make leaves a mark, so make them wisely. And that your most iconic life is not waiting out there in the somewhere someday. It's the one we choose and create from the right now, the present moment. So keep choosing with intention, keep choosing truth, keep choosing joy. And if today's conversation stirred something inside of you, share this episode with a friend, leave us a review, and reach out to us online. I'd love to hear feedback from you guys. I'd love to hear your aha moments, your breakthroughs. And I'm always open for conversations in the DMs, whatnot. So, yeah, reach out and let us know and help us spread this movement of women and men who are living, leading, and loving iconically. And we will see you back here next time.